People had so many questions going into The Force Awakens. Can Harrison Ford still kick it as Han Solo? Will we ever love BB-8 as much as R2-D2? And where the is Luke? In the end, we got answers to those questions and more, but not without more questions being asked. Hi, I'm Alex Ledbeater from Whatculture.com, and here are the biggest unanswered questions from Star Wars The Force Awakens, some of which we'll get answers to in Episode 8, and some Disney will probably ignore more than George Lucas ignores the holiday special. Spoilers, obviously. Turns out Where's Luke wasn't just a hashtag, it's the plot of the movie. The opening crawl begins with Luke Skywalker has disappeared and it just BB-8s from there. In the end, and I do mean the very end, we find him in exile, but there's no explanation for why he turned his back on the galaxy in the first place. There's suggestions he ran off when Ben Solo turned to the dark side, or that he's looking for the first Jedi Temple, but that's just speculation from Han Solo. Whatever he is doing though, Mark Hamill looks great the 2 seconds he's on screen. The biggest reveal of the film is that Kylo Ren is actually Han and Leia's son, Ben Solo, and words cannot explain how exciting it is that Han named his son Ben. But while that twist tells us an awful lot more about Kylo's backstory, it really just brings up more questions. Yes, we know Ben Solo was Luke Skywalker's first apprentice, and then turned to the dark side and ruined pretty much everything. But why did he turn against his family and start cosplaying his grandfather? There's the suggestion he's been manipulated by Snoke or somehow deluded about Darth Vader's legacy, but there's none of that here. That's probably something for the sequel. Come back in 2017 where he hopes you've forgotten he killed Han Solo. Because Star Wars rhymes, George Lucas's words, not mine, this film, like A New Hope, is motivated by chasing down a droid because of the plans they have hidden within him. But rather than the really easy to explain Death Star plans, what BB-8's carrying is a little more mysterious. It's the map to find Luke Skywalker, yes, but where does that come from? Did Luke leave breadcrumbs himself so his psycho nephew could come find him? And how did the Empire have it in their databases? And then how did R2-D2 get it as well, but missing one key piece? It's a MacGuffin, but it'd be nice if it made some sense. Maybe Luke was following the map himself? But then that's just another question anyway. Max von Sydow was in that initial casting announcement back in April 2014, so everyone assumed he'd have a big part in the movie. Probably the villain, because I mean, look at him. Nope. Turns out he's Lor San Tekka, some random old guy from Jakku who gives Poe the map and then is killed 5 minutes in by Kylo Ben. The thing is, he's described in the opening crawl as being an old ally to Leia, and clearly has some knowledge about the whole Snoke-Luke thing, so could probably answer pretty much every question on this list. So when he's killed, we don't only not find out where he got that map piece from, but we miss out on so much important stuff from that connection. Okay, this is the biggie. When Rey goes down into Maz Kanata's basement of horrors, she finds Luke and Anakin's old lightsaber and gets some crazy vision. But how did that lightsaber end up on this backwater planet? Maz fobs it off saying, it's a question for another time, but no, it's a question for now. That lightsaber was last seen in The Empire Strikes Back when Vader signed Luke up to the Rebellion's cyborg program without even asking him, and the lightsaber and Luke's hand flew down to the planet Bespin, which is a gas giant. There's no way that the shriveled orange Yoda can get down there and get it. So how on earth is the lightsaber still in existence? There's been rumours of Luke's lightsaber popping up in Episode 7 for years now, and every time it pops up, it's the same reaction. How are they going to explain that? The answer is, they just don't. And given how the film really doesn't seem to want to address it, don't expect this one to be answered anytime soon. R2-D2 was the first confirmed cast member of Episode 7, so fans must have been delighted when he spends most of the movie in a catatonic state, powered down and covered in dust. Prequeling it and losing the will to live when Luke leaves is a little bit confusing, but what's even more inexplicable is how he just magically comes back to life at the end and gives them the key piece to find Luke Skywalker. That's some galactic level Deus Ex Machina right there. I'd assume it's because Rey, a strong Force user and probable Skywalker, turned up at the Resistance base at the same time, but the film literally doesn't engage with that. And actually, Rey is so obviously a Skywalker. You don't cast a complete unknown who looks a bit like a young Carrie Fisher / female Mark Hamill and not make her one of the family. This was a big part of the marketing, and the film itself really builds it up, as if there's going to be a big reveal like I'm your father or your father's Han Solo. But then the movie just ignores it. In what seems like an anti-Khan, JJ is trolling the entire fanbase and not giving them what they expect, leaving it out for Episode 8. It's a whole year and a half away. So who is Rey? She's probably Luke's kid. Han and Leia are the worst parents alive if they treat her like they do in the movie, and there's so many parallels between her and Luke's journey that it can't really be anyone else. I bet he ran off on whatever Force mission he was doing and just dumped her on Jakku because he didn't want to have a kid hanging around, and this ending is sort of this emotive reunion and not just the return of Luke. Meaning episode 8 will be all about father-daughter bonding as much as it is Force training. Although the movie keeps it vague enough that it could be just about anyone. Ice cream maker guy, Kit Fisto, who knows? So that's our thoughts. What questions were you asking after Star Wars The Force Awakens? Let us know down in the comments, and make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm Alex from Whatculture.com, and we'll see you soon.